Hi, everyone. It's Victoria, the Soul Nurturer, here to offer some support for you on your journey of unfolding and transformation, and hopefully some soul nurturing and some inspiration. But right now, I'm going to start this video a little differently. I want to tell you the truth. I have this philosophy of one take, no edit, keep going, because that's kind of how life is. We don't get to stop and say, let me do that again. We just kind of live our life and then we review and hopefully edit and try again. I just tried recording this 4 times, stopped and started 4 times, which is very unusual for me. And then I was going to not do the video, but then I checked in and I realized I've got like a lot going on today. And I imagine if I do, you probably do too. So I want to start with just ringing my meditation bowl to drop myself down into a more centered place and invite you to drop into a more centered place within you before I share my topic for the month of February. So here we go. Just breathing in more deeply into our bodies, becoming present to ourselves, to the present moment, letting everything else fall away. Hmm. That's better. I might just start this on each video. It does help to have a reminder to pause and just drop in, especially on a day like today where it feels like really frenetic energy and we can feel all over the place. So here we are, starting again. And I love that. It's one of my philosophies as well, that every moment we get an opportunity to start again, to choose again, to try again, especially this month because we are in a Mercury retrograde. Mercury went into retrograde on the 30th and will be there until the 20th of this month. So I thought about doing a topic. Actually, my friend Erica, who's like my number one fan out there, always commenting and really being very present with me on this journey. Um, she actually brought it to my attention. I kind of was organically going there, starting to create posts about love, and she sort of said, I celebrate the whole month. And she also suggested perhaps I would do a Zoom self love course. And I am actually. So thanks, Erica. I used to teach in person a healthy relationship with self in order to have healthy relationship with others workshop. And it's a really cool process I've taken people through. So I'll probably be weaving some of that in. And that's going to be coming on February 12th or 13th. I haven't decided. So stay connected to my Instagram, the underscore soul nurturer on Instagram, or the soul nurturer on Facebook. Okay, so here we are, February. And this is, again, we have a lot of associations too. The month, the time of the year, everything in our life, we drop into our subconscious mind and we say, what do I know about February? So, of course, what pops up for February is the month of love. And for some people, it can feel uncomfortable if they're not in a relationship or they're in a challenging relationship or they're just, that extra social pressure about relationships comes up really supercharged this month. Now, what I want to say, I'm going to take us on a little journey this month on my videos, weekly videos. I'll have the topic connected to love, but focusing on self love. We are the common denominators of all our relationships. We are the common denominator of our life. Every experience we have, we're there. Our patterns are there. Our beliefs are there. Our subconscious programming is there. So, love is one of my favorite topics. I love love. Uh, and I've done a lot of work in the area of healthy relationships. And I teach a lot of people, coach a lot of people, guide a lot of people into first healing their love wounds, their love story, and most importantly, upleveling self love in order to create healthier patterns. So, I wanted to say that I'm looking at my notes because I had such a download earlier. I wanted to catch some of it. Um, what I want to say about this month, which is so perfect because I get to put these two things together, reviewing what do we believe about love and what is our relationship with love? What do we learn from our parents or caregivers? What have our relationships been showing us in terms of patterns within ourselves? And we always need to come back to ourselves, not just in reviewing love, but every single pattern. Again, we're the common denominator. Everything that's ever happened to us, we've been there. So we cannot change other people. And really, it's more powerful anyway to look at what it means for you, connect the dots, and be able to illuminate with more sacred awareness and more self love to see the other possibilities that are there present. So, with a Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, in fact, we have a lot of energy in Aquarius right now. The Sun, Mercury, which is now retrograde, and Venus just went into Aquarius today. And of course, Saturn and Jupiter that we got to see come together, the Christmas star, right? A lot of Aquarius energy. And I love that we are looking at love through the lens of Aquarius because Aquarius invites us to be a little bit more objective, to be a little detached, even, and to come up with innovative ideas. And Aquarius is all about humanity, humanitarian interest, humanity, friendship, higher perspectives, and the higher vision. Aquarius energy is definitely about visioning, being a visionary of your own life. Um, it's also very well, it's very unique energy, and it's very surprising energy. So I'm thinking about this month, and especially as we move towards Valentine's Day, and the possibilities here of what could be happening with all of this Aquarius energy. But retrograde, a lot of people have this kind of feeling of retrograde, Mercury retrograde in particular. Oh, it's Mercury retrograde. Things are going to go crazy. Things are going to kind of blow up in our face. Everything's going to be a problem. No, 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 no. Retrograde is an opportunity to pause, and we bring up all those RE words like to review, to reconsider, to renew, to refresh, restore, all of those RE words. But think about it in terms of this month, of the month of love. We get to review all that. Where are we with this, with self-love and with relationships? So the healthier relationship we have with ourselves, the healthier relationships we have with others really is not about the other person. I know we can get really hooked on if only he would do this or if only she would do that, then things would be better, wouldn't they? No. They're just reflecting back to you, your stuff, your blocks to love. What is that? Great. I meant to find this quote so I could say it accurately. I have a kind of a bad habit of retrieving quotes and not getting them quite exactly right. But I believe it was Rumi that love will bring up everything unlike love for us to be able to, or all the blocks that are in the way of love. Oh, see, I knew I'd blow it. Okay, here, this makes it fun for you to interact with me. Go look that quote up. What is the quote? I believe it's from Rumi that is about, I think it's coming, but it's something like this. Our, it is not for us to seek love, but to seek everything in the way of love. Maybe closer. There is actually another quote that I think I learned from Ian Levinsant, which is when you set an intention to love, for love, self-love, more love in relationships, the first thing that happens is that everything unlike that shows up first. Okay, so here we have this energy of love with Aquarius and a time of reviewing. How perfect to look at what's in the way of you having a fulfilling relationship, of you feeling more connected to yourself, to your body. You know, we learn about ourselves and we learn about love from our primary caregivers, All of that programmed information stays with us on our journey, even if we have done a lot of editing and downloading new material to support us. And like I said earlier, I had to completely renew and redo my relationship file because I didn't see healthy relationship. My dad wasn't part of the picture. He was left when I was born. So I didn't see healthy relationships growing up. And my mom being a single mom, well, she didn't have time to demonstrate being a having a healthy relationship with herself. So I had to reconstruct all of that. So I love teaching this. I love guiding people back to the most important love, which is learning to love ourselves and honor ourselves and every aspect of ourselves, our bodies, our our lives, our homes, our everything that extends from us, right? And to kind of track with that soul awareness. Where are we offering ourselves less than what we desire? Or we can get these wires crossed and expect someone to offer us what we're not willing to offer to ourselves. So that's kind of backwards, isn't it? Our external relationships reflect the relationship we are having with ourselves. So we always start here first, okay? So I like to say too that the longest and most personal and intimate relationship you will ever have is with yourself. So we might as well take a look here and see how we're doing in our relationship, right? And review, reassess, reestablish, recreate, and restart a healthier relationship. So, what I want to do in this first video is um, this is what I do with my clients often on the first or second session. And that is to just honestly assess yourself, to just drop in and maybe you want to put your hand on your heart and just kind of breathe into your body and think about your level of self love. Now, let's get real because a lot of times people think that they're really loving themselves, but you know what reflects that, or the truth teller of that is how you're treating yourself every day. Now, what you learned about love from your caregivers and how they did their best to show you love, but they might have shown you love in ways that weren't feeding you, nurturing you, right? Maybe they were loving you by buying you things, or making sure you went to the best schools and throwing you in all kinds of classes and whatnot, but they weren't present to you. Again, parents do the best they can with what they've got in their programming, right? But this is so interesting to me as I've worked with myself and clients over 20 plus years of this work of kind of, I found this term that I borrowed from my husband's work of tracking, and I call it soul tracking, which is what I've been doing as a hypnotherapist all this time, tracking patterns, tracking beliefs, tracking what's in the way of our way, right? So we tend, what I notice, and I still have to catch myself, what we learned about what love felt like, the love we received, even if it wasn't the ideal love we desired, we tend to do to ourselves until we wake up and say, I'm going to do this differently. I forgive my parents, my caregivers, but I deserve more. So if your parents weren't present to you, just notice where you're not present to yourself. If there was some neglect, where are you neglecting yourself, right? So these are things that we look for. So I want to start with this assessment. So get real, because a lot of times there's this concept, I really love myself. Okay, how are you treating yourself? How are you treating your body? How are you taking care of your body? How are you taking care of, you know, everything surrounding you in your life? And that will show you and help you get real where you really are with your level of self love. Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I'm rocking it, I am, doing really great. Not only do I feel love for myself, I show love to myself by the patterns, by my self talk, by the food I eat, by the way I move my body, by the way I take care of myself and my life, all of that, high end. Okay. Or 0, not so much, not doing so good here, right? Maybe you didn't have any references that showed you better. So again, be gentle and compassionate with yourself while we do this assessment. But we want to have a starting point. Where are you today? Okay. I promise you, as you look within and work with this primary relationship and up level your self-love, and learn how to create a healthy relationship with yourself. It's one of the distinctions I like to say, especially for this month where people can feel lonely. You know, we can see in all the, you know, movies and all the romantic stuff, everything's idealized. You know, other people have it healthy relationships, other people, you know, or maybe your ex-partner has moved on and you're longing for that ex-partner and it looks like they're having an amazing relationship. But I like to say this to my clients and my girlfriends, unless your ex-partner's done a lot of inner work in between the time you guys were together, he or she is having the same relationship with another person. So you may not be missing out. Okay, so that longing, though, that leads us to loneliness. We feel so lonely. So I like this reframe. I think, again, I got this from Iyanla Vanzant. Love her. If you don't know her, check out her work. She is phenomenal. She has amazing books. In fact, there's a book called In the Meantime. If you're not in a relationship right now, that is the go-to restorative book to read to help you reclaim healthy love for yourself and preparing you to be ready for a healthy relationship. Great one. So, but I think I got this from her. I don't know where, but it's part of my lexicon now. And that is that don't say I'm by myself. That really, what does that feel like to say, I'm going to be by myself on Valentine's Day. I'm by myself all the time. I'm alone. I don't have a relationship. I mean, that just feels like, you know, Debbie Downer, right? Wah, wah. So, no, reframe it. This is where, again, the energy of Aquarius says befriend yourself, become your own best friend, become your own best support. Now, this doesn't mean you let go of the desire for partnership, for companionship, and even for marriage. But as you create this healthy relationship with yourself, you're going to create a healthier possibility for the relationship of your desires, of your dreams, right? So, and that is the reframe is then instead of saying I'm by myself, you say I'm with myself. You know, like, excuse me, no, I'm with someone and they're really, I value this person. I love this person. They're worthy of my time, my presence. I like hanging out with this person, right? That's another place to look with, you know, we want a relationship to fulfill our needs and bring us joy and do all the things we want to do. But if we're not happy hanging out with ourselves, hanging out with somebody else isn't going to make us happy. I hate to bring you down on that, but this is the truth. I'm bringing some truth telling now, okay? Because it's an opportunity. This is a powerful opportunity to really get real. Roll up your sleeves. You want to look at your, you know, as I take you through this process. Next week we are going to look at what we learned about relationships by watching relationships around us as we were children. And then the third week, we're going to look at what do we learn about the intimate relationships we've had with partners. Okay. Lots to learn and lots of opportunities to grow here. So I just want to make sure. Oh, so on a scale of 1 to 10, just jot it down in your journal or just make a mental note of it. Where are you today? And then ask yourself, what will be different to up level that? Say you're at a 5, you recognize, yeah, I can access love for myself. And here's another clue. If you've got a high level of self love, you do the things you love. You do the things you love. And you know what that does? It generates more love, right? I love to ride my bike. And I just got back from a bike ride, so that's why I'm a little hyped up. I love it. My energy just gets so radiant and I love that. So when you love and value yourself more, you do the things you love more. Okay. And then it just keeps generating that. And so that's really important. And what was the other thing? I can't see my writing. Relationship with self, got it. Befriending yourself, got it. So, okay, so the last thing I want to leave you with is just you don't have to do all this in one day. We're going to be talking about this throughout February. And again, I invite you to my Zoom self love experience. I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but it's going to be coming up on February 12th or the 13th. I haven't decided if it's going to be on a Friday or a Saturday. So go to my Instagram, follow me there, and I'll be posting something there as well as my Facebook page. Okay, so back to Aquarius energy. for this opportunity to review, reflect, and really get real, to realize what it is you need to see, to acknowledge, so you can reset that, maybe reclaim something about you that um, in past relationships you kind of just gave up on because it wasn't working in the relationship. I'll give you an example. This is so silly, but it's really happened to me. And you're going to say, no way, because I'm funny, right? Well, I was in a relationship years ago. I mean, we're going way back in those very impressionable, the impressionable ages when we don't really know who we are, or we haven't reclaimed who we are, I should say. And especially for women, we tend to just kind of absorb into the other person, or dissolve really into the other person, and we don't know where they begin and where we begin, and suddenly we forget who we are, and we're kind of trying to keep that love growing in a codependent way. I'll claim it. Yep, recovering codependent. I've done a lot of work with this too. Anyway, so I've always been a funny, silly person. I love to laugh. Okay. Well, it should have been an indicator when I was with somebody who would tell me that I wasn't funny. I was not funny. What? I'm not funny? Instead of like saying, excuse me, have you met me? I I started squelching myself. I stopped telling jokes. I stopped, you know, someone years ago used to call me Rapunzel because I love a good pun. I love a good joke, right? So I was just shutting it down, right? So this is a time to reclaim you, who you are, what you love about life and yourself, and to value and honor who you are. Okay. So that's what I want to leave you with right now. Just let your curiosity, remember my other video about follow the curiosity. What else did I learn about self love? What did my mom show me about self love? That our moms as women are our primary first teacher, right? And in what ways could I embody more self love? What would be different? What would I be doing differently? Okay. So assessing your level of self love and just being willing, and this is what all we can do is just start where we are. So have your curiosity handy and also have a good amount of compassion as you begin to review. And in general, we're not, we're looking at love here for February, but in general, this is through the 20th, a time to review every aspect of your life, but do it with um, pacing with grace. My other favorite phrase, pace with grace here, because a lot can show up. A lot can show up. I've got to review relationships, how I'm doing with money, how my career, everything, right? So pace with that. But Mercury in retrograde is that opportunity just to take a good look, because it's an opportunity to reset that foundation for every area of our life, so we can rise up with more potential, with more of our soul purpose, and more fully being who we truly are. Okay? All right. Well, thank you for spending some time with me today. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, comment below with what your takeaway is here today, or anything you want to comment about. Just tell me how you're doing today. I love connection through comments. And subscribe if you haven't. Share the video if you feel called. And keep showing up with me here as we continue this journey of unfolding all about love for the month of February. Okay, so until we meet again next week for that video, take good care of yourself and up level that self love. You're worth it. Okay, see you later. Bye.